Good morning everyone, my name is Lirat Krasniqi, reporting from London for the Paddington Academy BBC News School Report. In today's news, as the election race heats up, we look at the main contenders. And in tourism news, is the world's biggest peak really turning into a cesspit?
With the May general elections coming soon, our reporter Lirat went to the House of Parliament to find out more.
In May this year, that building there right behind me will be turned into one of the biggest battlegrounds in the UK as the UK's parties go head-to-head in the UK 2015 general election. With smaller parties looking to steal the seats from the bigger ones, we went to the streets to find out whether people think the Conservatives will stay in power. So which political party do you support?
I used to support Conservative. For this election, I have absolutely no idea because I don't really like any of them.
Do you think that there will be a clear winner, or will there be another coalition this year?
No, I think this time there'll be a winner. I think everyone's had enough of a coalition.
Opinions are very divided, with most polls putting Labour 1% ahead of the Conservatives at 34% and the Conservatives right behind them at 33%. But as new parties such as UKIP, the Greens and SNP seem to take away seats from the big three, including threatening Nick Clegg's own constituency, the 2015 election seems to be the most undecided one for decades. And only in May will we find out the true winner of the UK 2015 general election. Millions of people visit the UK every year, be it for pleasure or for business, coming primarily to London and visiting attractions such as the London Eye right behind me. But as demand for tourism increases, the two biggest airports serving London, London Heathrow and London Gatwick, have been embroiled in a huge debate over which should get government funding for the construction of a new runway. Heathrow, one of the world's top 5 airports and by far the largest airport in the UK, cites its huge size and vital role in UK's commerce as support for its project, while Gatwick cites already dangerous pollution levels in Heathrow, as well as noise complaints by the nearby residents of Heathrow as support for its own project. Comic relief has been around for more than 30 years, and in its long and plentiful history, we have seen many hilarious sketches by comedians and many celebrities taking on huge challenges, all in the name for raising money for charity. And in the recent Comic Relief Friday Night Live special, £78 million was raised. Already that is a huge total and a record for Comic Relief, but there is something even greater. In its 30 history, Comic Relief has raised over £1 billion, that's right, £1 billion for charity, with celebrities doing hilarious acts, all in the name of raising money for those less fortunate than us. 10 mosquito nets cost only 25 quid, so imagine how many millions can be made with £1 billion. That is the sort of change that Comic Relief brings, and that is why we are proud to say that Comic Relief has raised over £1 billion in 30 years. Many celebrities got involved in the Friday Night Live special for Comic Relief, with us finding that James Bond has a very interesting secret, his voice being dubbed by Joe Pasquale. No, we're just joking, don't worry. Dermot O'Leary did the 24-hour dance-a-thon for Comic Relief, and regular celebrities and comedians David Williams and Lenny Henry, who was actually one of the co-founders of Comic Relief, made their appearances. And we also found out how the money of the public, who have so generously donated millions, and actually over £1 billion in Comic Relief's 30-year history, is being spent, with John Bishop going to Africa to see how Comic Relief's charity work is helping develop the area.
John, while I was in Uganda, I met with James. He was busy fixing up a new house for himself and his family. Two are dead?
Two died from malaria.
If you had had a mosquito net when your first 2 children were here, there's a chance that that might have saved them. Can you imagine carrying your own children out to your own backyard and burying them for the sake of a mosquito net? Is that worth a text message? Because somewhere in the world, there'll be a kid who's going to live because you bothered to text. The number's on your screen now. Thank you.
And here we are at a vintage car boot sale with some of the rarest cars in existence right behind us. This is a place Jeremy Clarkson would have loved to visit if it wasn't for an unfortunate fracas with one of the producers of Top Gear, which seen him suspended from the show. His contract has been put on hold and the next 3 episodes of Top Gear have been cancelled. While 860,000 people have signed a petition to reinstate Jeremy Clarkson back to Top Gear, he has been showing signs that it may be time for him to leave the show. All we know is it'll be a tragedy for millions of Top Gear loving fans across the world. So here's some of the work that the sixth formers did at Goresworth Preschool. So tell us a little bit about your project.
So the project was based on Miss Starley, her old school, new school, sorry. So it was about a reception and a nursery where we film like a short film about what their school and what they do, and hopefully we'll post that on her website.
Yeah, well, basically our task was to, promote the school and like let parents know that schools is here for everyone. It's starting from reception. It's going to build up year by year, if you get what I mean. Yeah.
How important do you feel that media is in community projects?
It's important because media is the biggest outlet. So everybody has media in their life, and what we can do with media is that we have like a broader audience, and a lot of the audience will see it. So yeah, it's the best type of outlet to do it.
Well, yeah, of course. Media's like the big thing nowadays. Everyone's involved. Everyone's got their phones, and like to get through to young people nowadays, you have to use media because it's what they do every day. Yeah.
Millions have been talking about it, and even celebrities like Taylor Swift have decided to intervene on Twitter to give their opinions. Yes, it's the infamous dress. Some say it's blue and black, others say it's white and gold.
I see black and blue.
I see black and blue.
White and gold.
Blue and black.
And even the internet tricksters and comedians have taken their shot at turning the dress into a comedic item, with many hilarious posts about the dress's colour and how people see it all over the internet. Well, there you have it. Some people see it as blue and black, and some people see it as white and gold. So what is the answer? What colour is the dress, truly? The answer is, it's blue and black. However, they have made a white and gold one for any white and gold enthusiasts out there for sale for charity. The reason why people see it differently is because of receptors in the brain. Everybody has slightly different ones for colour, and everyone sees colours slightly differently. This photo just highlighted the differences more than usual. And welcome to the weather report for the next few days. Looking back to the early hours of today, we can see that the temperature across the board is slowly rising up into the higher middle digits, with London at 8 degrees and Belfast at 9 degrees. This trend will continue into the later hours of Thursday, with Belfast at 11 degrees, Manchester at 9 degrees and London at 8 degrees. As Friday night rolls in, the temperatures drop across the board but are still higher than in the previous days. However, the cloud cover that has been present over most of the UK in the last few days will persist into the early hours of Friday, with most of the UK cloudy when the eclipse passes. However, as we go into the weekend and into Monday, temperatures will remain in the high middle digits, and there will be some scattered showers across Scotland, the Western Highlands and parts of Northern Ireland, but generally speaking it will remain cloudy but dry.
During the last few days, scientists have spotted a cloud of smoke coming over from southern Europe on Friday. Meteorologists say that for some part of Britain it won't be able to watch the solar eclipse on Friday, as it will be too foggy and cloudy. Now back to the studio.
What languages do you speak and where do you come from?
I come from Italy and I speak Italian.
I come from Brazil and I speak Portuguese.
I come from Greece and I speak Greek.
I come from Greece and I speak Greek.
What are the best and worst things about being bilingual?
I think the best thing is that you can communicate with other people from other countries, and the worst thing, maybe you can get mixed up with other languages, but I think this is a small disadvantage.
I believe the best thing is that you can go to a different country and community, but the worst thing is that if you talk with Greek with someone and somebody doesn't know Greek, he might be confused and it's a little bit rude.
Do you find it helps with learning other languages at school that you're bilingual?
I think it depends on what language you learn, but generally when you learn a language, then I think it's going to be easier to learn another language, but it depends on the language.
In the playground and in school, what languages do you speak?
I speak English because I don't speak in Italian with anybody.
I speak Portuguese with Slide and sometimes Greek because Father she teach me and English.
Once I forgot my bag at home and I just came on holiday from Brazil and I started talking Portuguese to my friend and he actually just pretended there to understand me, and then when I finished he was like, I didn't get a word you just said.
I found the school very helpful for me because I came only knowing to understand Portuguese. But then during Portuguese clubs, I learned how to read, write and speak.
The Man City's defeat against Barcelona yesterday has caused a lot of disappointment. Man City's manager, Manuel Pellegrini, says, "We have lost against a better team with no doubt. Man City is out of the Champions League at the hands of Barcelona on Wednesday's night. Manuel Pellegrini's side lost the second leg of their last 16 tie 1-0 at the Nou Camp to ex-Europe's Premier Club competition 3-1 on aggregate. Man City has won 14 times in the Champions League. Unfortunately, yesterday's match made everything worse. Gael Clichy, Man City's defender, got a red card which he will not be with Man City for a lot of matches. Barcelona has won 3 Champions League meetings with Man City by an aggregate of 6-2. The good news is that Man City is second in the Premier League, just before the big guys, Chelsea. Man City could win the Premier League, but who knows? Back to the studio.
Thank you for watching the Paddington Academy BBC News School Report.